Hi. I have another one of those multi-part things. This one's got parts A, B, and C to do. I can't promise how quickly I'll get them done, but it's in the observation series, and these are, it's a set of intermediate exercises in vision. So I'm assuming you've done a lot or some at least of the introductory stuff. This series is from 10/22/2010. This is the first of that day. The Mayan day is 6 water, or sacred offering. And it's part A, discernment versus judgment, brainwaves and levels of consciousness. As I come to the journal this morning, I'm amazed at how long it has been since I awake, as I did this morning, since I awoke, as I did this morning, made coffee, and came straight to the journal. And that was my habit for years. Where did it go? I hardly noticed it passing. Oh well, mourn for lost habits I will not. I just note the strangeness of it and move on. What that is new is being built within me. Well, within this physicality I wear or put on during Earth's days. I sense a changing inside that is immense. I stay alert to keep the mind out of it, this inquiry or exploration going on. Nothing mind has to say will be useful in this or the like. Mind is wonderful as a tool for exploration of 3D. Beyond that, however, how can mind go? I still have no real understanding of what this higher mind is that comes in, so that when in heart, mind's functions are taken care of, albeit in a seriously different way. It feels different, it vibrates differently. Tough to wrap words around that, which one doesn't understand. So I'll leave it and just say one doesn't become mindless when going in heart. It's just different. I suspect that the 3D mind that we're sharing here on Earth is really one mind, not the many that we think it is. I suspect, too, that the brain acts more as an antenna, a receiving and sending station, than it does as repository of anything. That would mean the scientists, as usual, have it all wrong. So what's new? Only their arrogance exceeds their inaccuracy overall. Still, it's mighty exciting, you know, and it's wonderful, but it's just not, it can't hold a candle to what's within heart. No, I don't hate science. Actually, I love it. It just has a screaming lack. And that's for the humility that is required to do what it does and do it successfully. They explore many great mysteries, but in the presence of such great arrogance, their findings are necessarily limited, incorrect. And there is nothing wrong with this, but not acknowledging it, well, that's not so good. It could be so easily corrected just by the recognition, the public admission that what they offer is but the latest theory on things. Nothing is written in stone, as they say, only change is constant. It pays to have a good grasp of this and be humble in the presence of mystery. This better to appreciate what is found. To be aware that it's alive, that all life is sentient. Oh my God, this would come next in my correction of the way science is handled. Without this understanding, so many unnecessary mistakes are made. Arrogance again at the heart of them. Unintentional cruelty abounds in the realm of science, and that need not be. Scientists are or could be the dreamers, the visionaries among us, as they once were. We've got to get this money thing out of the way before we can have such a pure society again that things can stand on their own merit, not be propped up artificially by this nonsense called money. It's nothing real at all, just a force inserted and used to manipulate mankind. Nothing else. Yes, I know there's so much more wrong with the present manifestation of science overall. Truth herself is not respected, not revered, not sufficiently. Where can that lead? Truth sits back and alternately laughs or sheds a tear for what route science now takes on the earth. It is quite shameful, actually. There is no such thing as real science absent truth. Anyone knows this there in the heart. But let us not mourn. Let us have clear vision. Yes, I'm all for that. But stay out of the mind that lends everything a seriousness that is faulty and that is not real. As we learn to stay in heart, what we feel instead is real connection to life, capital L. When we're plugged in to what's real, what we sense is quite different than the scenarios mind spins out, given a chance there in our awareness. It gets very subtle, this distinguishing of the mind from the heart at times. For whatever reason, doesn't matter, but we're so used to functioning from mind that we slip into that constantly by habit. Well, so what? Don't let mind dictate your attitudes, and particularly toward yourself. No self-criticism allowed here, or you aren't in the heart. It's pretty simple. To discern is one thing, to judge is another. They are quite different, though sometimes you'll wonder as you're making this transition, head to heart. Heart can discern. Heart doesn't evaluate, though. It doesn't need to. Heart just knows, or it doesn't. Now, though heart just knows, that doesn't mean that knowing will always be transferred or made available to your waking consciousness. I'll let that sink in. Heart can know without your mind knowing, in other words. Often, what's known is not available to the beta brainwave consciousness we find ourselves living within. Do you see? Beta brain waves are the normal awake state, so science considers. It's like when you have a really high exalted experience, satori. Let's say you receive a lot of precious information and understanding while you're there. Now, days or weeks later, you may reach out, try to remember what transpired. What were those revelations you got? They don't seem accessible. They are lost. That's what so many think. They're not lost. Nothing is ever lost, nor can it be. Take a moment to register that, to accept that if you choose to. Nothing is ever lost. I won't make an argument for it. That's just mind stuff. Simply be in heart. Recognize the truth of it. How heart resonates with that. If you're in heart, this is no problem. You can read energy there. Nothing is lost. Okay, now how about some simple physics and neurology? Ready for that? It's very simple, really. When you received or had that satori, the revelation, you were not in a beta brainwave state. More likely, it was theta or gamma instead. So, in that state, these understandings were received. Well, that's the level they're stored at. You will or can connect with them when you re-enter that state. All of life is so very simple, but mind makes a muck of it, makes it complicated, confusing. When we get down to where levels of truth shine through, it's very simple though. And while truth, real truth, can't be captured or contained in any words at all, not even the highest or holiest ones, yet words can resonate closely with it, can resonate with truth. There, within each heart, abide what I have called in the past, a bullshit detector. It can also be seen as a truth detector, of course. It works the same way, two sides of the coin. Your body, in these ways, is actually more intelligent than the mind of you. Your body